Viewer discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast for two friends, chug wine, smoke weed, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesota accents. I am Amanda. I'm coming at you in my best Gypsy Rose hat and sweatshirt. I like her like she was, am ill today. So yeah. I'm gross. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. We're here. We're doing it.
You're beautiful.
My hat. Do you like my hat?
Yes. The sexual tension at this hockey game is killing me.
Aaron got it for me.
It's really good.
It's very, very good.
I'm Lucy.
Welcome.
I ate something bad for lunch and my butt's burning.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We're both doing our best.
We are hanging in there and we're making that content for you. So please join Uncorked. Anyway, today we have a very special gals pick. Is this because of what your segment's going to be? Because we've talked about this. Didn't you do that drunk dive on Rosemary, like the lobotomies drunk dive?
Yeah, it was for the full episode Lobotomy Crimes.
Ah.
But I only talked about Rosemary for part of it because
that
family is fucked up.
Yeah, and you said, I think we talked about that in that drunk dive when you were like, we have to do a whole episode about family curses.
Yeah.
So here we are.
To the calendar, here we are.
We're doing family curses. When you're here, you're cursed, and you're also family. The Olive Garden.
When you're here, you're traumatized generationally.
Congratulations. Welcome. I am very excited for my segment because while this is a famous family, there's a specific still living member of this monarchy family who is fascinating.
Okay.
I love her.
I can't wait.
Yep. So yeah, family curses. We're going to talk about the Kennedys, right?
Yep.
And we're going to talk about another monarchy of Monarcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the Chins, right? Not the Habsburgs.
No, not the Habsburgs. I had to...
Chin was their own curse.
I had to pull myself away from covering them because we've talked about them before, both on the show and in drunk dives.
Yeah.
So like I could, and I will say, I will just while I have it in my brain to mention it, one of my favorite videos on the Habsburgs, and she did a great video on the family I'm covering today. Her name is Lindsay Holiday on YouTube, and she does these very like easy to digest, mostly European, like historical, like royal families, like these deep dives. And they're like 25 to 30 minutes long. But the one I watched one with Robbie about the Habsburgs because he was not as familiar with them. And I had made some Habsburg chin comment, and he was like, I don't know anything about that. And I was like, girl, lock in. So we watched this video, and they were giving them, everything was very like by the letter, by the book. It's not like a snarky, it's very cut and dry, but I just really enjoy her analyses. But that made this all the more shocking in the moment because she was giving like, showing examples of what the Habsburg chin looks like. And so she's going through these like oil paintings, like these old paintings of members of the Habsburg family. And then one modern day photograph of Jay Leno. So it's Habsburg after Habsburg after Habsburg. And they are the Habsburgs, the inbreeding, they are foul. One kid had like a gaping sore on his face that like never properly healed. And so they just put a bonnet on it. So he was like oozing, and they were, you know, cognitively destroyed. Like, man, terrifying what inbreeding did to what they did to their family with inbreeding. And then to just have those images, like these historical images, and then the jump scare of Jay Leno as an example of a modern day Habsburg chin was the of all fucking like I was like, oh, no one's been burned that bad in their entire fucking life. That it's over. It's over. And it wasn't even a joke. It was just, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next. Like, it was not
very exaggerated.
It was not presented as snark. It was so crazy. It was almost diabolical. So Lindsay Holiday, you're a bee, like a boss bee, and I love your videos.
Come be on our show.
Oh my God, yes. You are welcome anytime. Please, 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 please.
Well, great. I can't wait to hear about the family that you did choose.
Yes.
And also to shock and horrify you by how deep the Kennedy shit goes.
Girl, I
My
can't
God.
be shocked or horrified by anything anymore. Here we are. I peed in that cup.
That's true. You did.
That episode might not have come out yet. You'll hear about it. Pepe?
You'll hear about it.
See.
All right. Well, let's get cranking with the wine crime pairing for Family Curses.
Yes, we have another beautiful segment of Ashwin's Wine Corner, which is getting so much fun feedback. I'm really enjoying it. He teaches me so much about wine. Yeah, and they continue to make these very generous offers. So before we cut to that segment, just a reminder to head to unpinnedwineclub.com/WC, and you can enter to win a free shipment of wine. That information is also on our website, but you can go directly to them. Again, unpinnedwineclub.com/WC to enter to win a free shipment of wine. And if you don't want to just bank on winning one, you can just join their wine club. It's totally up to you. But they're going to be sending out consistent shipments of free wine. And once you enter, like, you're in. So it's worth it to go sign up. Okay. So for Family Curses, I called upon my dear friend Ashwin from Unpinned Wine Club. And I said, give me something that's going to capture maybe less the essence of a curse, but more the essence of a family. And I'm very curious to see what you came up with from your incredible selection. So welcome to the stage, Ashwin. Take it away.
Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for having me back.
Always.
I don't know. I think I've shared this with you off recording, but I'm so thrilled to be here. Love working with you all. And I've got a really fun one today. But before I dive into it, I'm going to quickly introduce myself for any new listeners or anyone that missed one of the past episodes. I'm Ashwin Mathai. I'm the founder of the Unpinned Wine Club. We feature wines from the other 10,000 grapes. So most of us, and this is quite normal, most of us will drink wine from only 20 grapes. 99% of our wine drinking, in fact, comes from just 20 grapes. But there are over 10,000 known wine grapes on the planet that most of us will never get to see, touch, taste, smell, know that they exist. So I've made it my life's mission to get other people drinking the other 10,000 grapes. And that's what you can find in the Unpinned Wine Club.
I think this is such a cool episode for this too, because it's like so many of the winemakers that you work with, it's very much like a family affair, a family business. It's small batch. It's like generational knowledge that has been modified over time to like keep up with current technologies, but still holds that inspiration and that like original value
100%.
From generations of winemaking. So I'm stoked about this.
100%. And like you're touching on something that gets me really excited, which is like wine has been on our planet for 8,000 years, or that's at least 8,000 years. It might be more. The oldest
intentionally for 8,000 years, maybe accidentally longer than that.
Yeah, exactly. And so the point being, how many things are there in the world that connect us to our ancestors from 8,000 years ago? Like there are not that many things in the world that you think about and like, oh, my life looks like what their life looked like that long ago. Sitting with loved ones and drinking wine is one of those things. And it's still like today, that's still like, for me, when I think about what's fun, like what is the most fun part of my week, it's usually that. It's usually hanging out with friends and drinking a glass of wine.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just true for me.
You know what? We're not going to label whether any of our behaviors are good or bad today. We're going to be kind to ourselves.
Better that we do that. I love that. I love that self-loving talk. But I'll dive right into it. So for family curses, veering away from the curses part because we don't want to drink things that curse us, leading more to the family part. This is an amazing winemaker, really small production, like 20,000-ish bottles per year, which like for context, that that can sound like a lot to some people, but any bottle of wine that you recognize at the grocery store is produced by the millions.
Yeah.
So if you take like a Mayomi or a Hess or Decoy or whatever, like all the wines that you'd recognize usually produced by the millions.
Right.
So 20,000 bottles, you're talking like 2% of the production of like the typical wine that you'd see when you go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
So really small production. This is Sagmeister's Cabernet Franc. The winemaker's name is Ernu, and he is in Serbia, in northern Serbia. And so one of the funny things with our wine club is every once in a while we'll feature a grape that is more mainstream. So Cabernet Franc is a little bit more mainstream. It's a French variety. But how many wines, maybe I'll ask you, Amanda, have you ever had wine from Serbia before?
I actually don't know if I have.
And I think that's true for most people. Like I hadn't had one from Serbia until like 2 or 3 years ago.
What's the viticultural region like? I admittedly don't know much about Serbia, period, full stop.
Yeah, there's some like, there's war-related trauma there, which makes it a little bit harder for winemakers to get enough, to build enough momentum in the market, right? So like Serbia, theoretically, they were kind of on the wrong side of the Balkan Wars. Like the U.S. bombed Serbia, and so the U.S. being one of the largest wine-consuming countries in the world, if we're not drinking their wine, it's really hard for them to get appeal in the market. So it's less about the quality of their winemaking and viticulture. Like they've got the climate for it.
Yeah.
They've got these mountainous hills and regions that produce leaner, more austere wines that are, I think, are phenomenal. But the challenge for them is less that and more when you hear Serbian wine, maybe not you, but a lot of people, when they hear Serbian wine, they're like, ew, what? And that's what we're trying to get people to change with this one. And I think this is also why a lot of Serbian winemakers will end up planting French varieties, because they're already fighting an uphill battle trying to get people to drink their wine
that's
because they're from Serbia. And so they're like, okay, let's at least make it a little bit easier by making the grapes something that people recognize.
I mean, it's crazy too, because that also speaks to colonization of winemaking in its own way, where this region that, has likely been making wine for the thousands of years that basically every other region has been making wine, now has to focus on grapes that are easily recognizable by predominantly Anglo white, Western people to be able to survive in winemaking. That's a form of colonization. That kind of shit blows my fucking mind every time.
It's incredible because in wine, you end up with a lot of that, where winemakers are forced to choose between what they believe in and what will sell. And what you've got here is a really good example of trying to walk the line, kind of the balancing act, right? Because it's easy to be really idealistic and say, I'm just going to do everything my way that I believe is correct. And then you can't sell the wine. And then you can do that for a few years. And then all of a sudden you have to close up shop and do something else. And so I think what's been really interesting of late is finding winemakers who are like, hey, I'm true to our heritage. These wines are elegant and delicious, but they've got this rustic Serbian flair, which is why I really admire Ernu as a winemaker. And Amanda, I told you this story off camera or off recording. I'll share it with the audience here.
Yes.
Which is so Ernu and Sagmeister is the winery. Ernu is the winemaker. It was the drunkest I've ever been at a winemaker visit. So there's some decorum to winery visits, especially when you're a wine professional. Usually you're spitting and you're feeling each other out. And so there was that normal decorum was there. Ernu and I got introduced through a mutual friend. And so we got there and we're we're chatting, we're sipping, we're tasting the wine, we're spitting it out. And then I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think at one point in the night, we discovered that we're both from the Chinese New Year calendar. We're both from the year of the monkey.
Yes.
And
wine was not enough of a great unifier. You needed your Chinese New Year connection.
I don't know why. I have no idea why, but we found that connection. And then somehow we both thought it was just the funniest and most amazing thing that we then started imitating monkeys. And I'll see if I could find these photos and share them with you, and we could like send them around on Instagram. But there's literally photos of me and Ernu making like ooh, ooh, ooh,
Yep. Doing
like
your
monkey
thing.
sounds and faces. And then we ended up like there's like probably 12 bottles open on the table, which again is normal. What's not normal is that a lot of them were empty, and not because we had spit them out. So we just had a hell of a time with him and his wife, and just like amazing wines. Like I should take a moment to just talk about the winemaking here. So he's like an avid natural winemaking kind of like, proponent or supporter. So you've got native indigenous yeast fermentation, small batch production. So this means native indigenous yeast fermentation. What does that mean? Most wineries, you're adding commercial yeast. So it'll almost look like a bag of fertilizer in terms of like what you'd visualize. Because, if you're baking something at home, you open this tiny little packet, you pour it into your bowl, and you let the yeast like consume the sugars, right? When you're making wine at scale, it's like you need a huge bag. Indigenous yeast fermentation means you don't do that. You just allow the yeast that lives in the air and on the skins of the grapes to ferment. And why I love this process is it's the most expressive of terroir, in my opinion. So terroir is this concept of like, how much does the wine express place and time? And I would argue that natural winemaking is the most expressive of terroir because you're allowing everything about that place and time to speak, including the little microbes that are in the air that are unique to that place.
Yeah.
Right? Because like natural winemaking in Kanjiza in Serbia is going to be even same grape, same climate is going to be different than if you go 200 miles north. So anyway, natural winemaking, really clean wines. And the crazy thing, after we got way too drunk.
When all the best things happen.
I wasn't hungover.
You weren't?
I was about as drunk as I've ever been. And then I woke up the next morning and I wasn't hungover because there's nothing added to these wines. There are no chemicals, there's no coloring, there's no filtering, there's no like all this other shit that gets added into wine. Like none of that is there. It's basically just like grape juice that you've allowed to ferment. And so then this is not me endorsing over drinking. Like I definitely overdrank.
If you want to get this wine and test this theory, we're not going to stop you.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be curious to expand the sample set on that theory.
There is more of a sample size than I would like to admit on natural wine and me consuming it to excess.
Awesome.
Please don't ask me how many, because
he was too drunk to remember the exact numbers. It's not going to happen.
But it's been rigorously tested. It's been rigorously tested.
Great.
Let's say that. Research, R&D, purely academic.
I love it. So, give us some of the just the dirty deets on this Cab Franc. What are we talking in terms of ABV?
Yep.
And some of maybe some of the tasting notes that stuck out to you?
This wine, my secret code for when I take my tasting notes is a big smiley face. If I really, really love a wine.
I love that.
So this one's got a big smiley face next to it. This is higher in ABV than you would expect, and it does not drink like a high alcohol wine. So this is 14.9% alcohol.
Damn,
but when you sip it, it feels so balanced. It's you've got these beautiful, long, light tannins. So this is the compound from the grape skin that makes your mouth go dry. And it's such a unique sensation in wine because it's a liquid, but it makes you thirsty. So it's got these light, lingering tannins that are really well balanced. It's got some acidity. In my notes, I've got blueberry, blackberry, dried herbs, cranberry, and then also this minerally components like tar and gravel. And I also wrote roses. So it's got a little bit of everything, which is also part of what makes it really balanced. You've got your fruit, but they're not too forward. And then you've got your minerally component, which gives it some structure and some complexity. And then you've got some tertiaries, like floral aromas in wine are somewhat rare because they're more volatile. And so they're more quick to blow off. And so they're actually quite difficult to preserve. It requires more skill in the winemaking in order for them to remain in the wine. So yeah, just really well balanced, beautiful wine. And for like food pairings for this one, in case anyone's curious, like
I'm always curious about the food pairings.
I've got beef tenderloin with gravy and mashed potato, or smash burger with caramelized onions are the two that I'd written down. Which, like, I'm now hungry as fuck.
Oh my God. Okay, well, yeah, then Lucy and Corey are definitely going to have to get this wine because Corey and Lucy own like 3 burger restaurants called Lachelle's Fine Foods. And he makes the meat. The next time you're in the States, try to come to Des Moines because we will fucking feed you, man.
Let's go. I'm in.
Corey smash burgers will change your life. The first time I ate one, I like took a bite of a French fry and I literally started crying. It was so fucking good. So yeah, I need to create a space where we, at least the 3 of us, sit down at Lachelle's with a bottle of this wine and just absolutely fuck up some smash burgers.
I am so there.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we could make this happen.
We absolutely could make this happen. Yeah, it would be ridiculous not to.
Yeah.
So folks can access this wine through their Unpinned Wine Club subscription. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. So there's 2 ways you can get this wine. One is you can join my wine club, which I would love and welcome you to do.
It's amazing. Can confirm.
Oh, thanks, Amanda. Thank you. So that's one. You can join my wine club, unpinnedwineclub.com, or we are running a giveaway for Wine and Crime listeners. Every month, we're shipping a free box of wine. We're sending a free shipment of wine. Someone once told me don't say box of wine because then people think it's boxed wine.
Boxed wine, which this is not.
Yeah, this is definitely not. So it does come in a bottle. But we're giving away free shipments of wine every month. The link for that is unpinnedwineclub.com/WC. All you got to do is sign up and you're automatically entered every month to win a free shipment of wine. And we've already sent out a few of these. Everyone so far has been happy. I'm sure we're going to get someone that's like, screw you, we don't like your wine. But
that would be absurd. Sorry, you don't like your free shipment of wine. Come on,
I just
Wine
don't put
and
it
Crime.
past people, you know?
I don't think you're going to hear that from any of our listeners. Our girlies love the wine. And it's such a cool way to get your foot in the door. And like, you know, this, like Ashwin said, it's not one of the other 10,000 grapes, but what else will be in that box will very likely be of the other 10,000 grapes. So you'll have this 100%. Gorgeous Cab Franc, which you might be a little bit more familiar with, but done in a way that's really unique and special. So it's not like the stuff that you'd be buying at Total Wine. Not that there's anything wrong with the stuff you're buying at Total Wine. This is just a different expression of a more widely known varietal. But then it's nestled in side by side with some cool shit that you probably can barely read and have never heard of. And that's where being part of Unpinned is so helpful because they're going to literally handhold you through all of these selections. They're going to give you everything you need to know, and definitely follow their Instagram because Ashwin does these great informational videos. And as we keep saying, he's like the best sommelier that is not a huge douchebag. So you don't be like afraid to try and approach these cool new things. And we're all learning together. I've never heard of any of the shit except for this Cab Franc that he has talked about. I have not heard of a damn thing that he has talked to me about back and forth since we met. And I have really enjoyed learning so much more about it. So that's just why I am very enthusiastically continuing to invite you on the show to teach us more about wine, because I don't know. I know very little. I know some, but I don't know much. And it's been really fun to learn about. So if you enjoy these conversations and you want to dive into a little bit more of like the nerding out about some of the wine stuff without feeling like you're in over your head or you're not accepted because you're not like a wine snob, Unpinned is your safe space. It's like a great landing spot for you to experience all these new cool, exciting, nerdy things without being turned away for not knowing shit, because I certainly don't know shit and I have not been turned away.
That you pitch us better than I pitch us.
Listen, I'm just really excited about it. So definitely, I mean, if you just want to make sure you get a bottle of this wine, then just go join Unpinned. Get your subscription, get going. But if you want to enter to be one of those free shipment winners, like Ashwin said, head to Unpinned Wine Club. That's UnPINNED wineclub.com/WC, like Wine and Crime. See how easy that is? And you can enter to win a free shipment of wine. And from what I understand, like you said, once you enter, you're eligible. Like maybe you didn't get the first drawing of the month that you entered, but you're still in there next month and the month after that. Exactly. And we're doing it until I either run out of wine or run out of money. I love it.
So hopefully we'd never stop, because
Yeah.
in an ideal world, I wouldn't run out of those things, because they're both really generally important to me. But yeah.
I love it. So go enter, check out Unpinned Wine Club. And thank you again, Ashwin, for joining me for this wine pairing.
Thank you for having me, Amanda. Pleasure as always. See you next time.
All right. With that, let's take a break to hear a word from our sponsors, unless, of course, you are a member of our Uncorked subscriber base, where you are getting these episodes as well as video episodes and bonus episodes and monthly happy hours and Lucy's book club and additional audio content that we put out every month, including a mansplaining and spooky little bitch and drunk dives. We have it all for you.
There's so much.
There's so much. Come join us.
Obscene amount.
I also really love that Supercast added that like community threads
Oh, yeah.
element.
It's been buzzing lately.
Yeah, we can like really, you can talk about episodes, you can post threads, you can respond to threads that we post. Like it's like having our own little personal Reddit. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Come hang
Go
out.
Check it out.
All right, Lucy, take it away for us. I can't wait to hear about the Kennedys.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, there's a lot. And first, just a little bit of background and kind of psych, I guess. A family curse or a generational curse is passed down misfortunes or negative traits believed to be rooted in sin or family trauma. So this shapes behaviors and relationships on down the line.
Or sometimes you get cursed by a witch,
That too.
which we'll
Could be
get
mystical. Okay, good.
to. Don't leave out the possibility of a mystical curse.
Okay, well, all right.
We
Well-
exist. Don't erase us.
See us.
Yes.
Visibility.
Mm-hmm.
So family curses combine family history and like lore and rumors and like, especially when that kind of stuff, it wasn't just like gossip about your still living relatives. It was
Right.
like written down.
Yep.
Like your great grandfather pissed off a witch,
Yeah.
stole her goat.
Yep.
And now we have congenital herpes. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Diabetes. What's
Yeah.
my family curse? I'm sure we did some fucked up shit
You had to have.
somewhere way back there.
Well, your grandma lied about being French Canadian.
That's true. We live on a bed of lies.
So it combines that like kind of creative family history and also like how we understand relationships with complex dysfunctional patterns, because at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, generational trauma. Yeah.
So things like addiction, mental illness, chronic illness, and also just unhealthy relationship patterns. These are passed down through like genetics, your environmental and social factors, and combinations thereof. And that can trap individuals in a cycle of suffering that might seem impossible to escape because everyone you know and are related to has the same fucking
Shared
shit.
trauma. Yeah.
Yeah. So that can feel a lot like a curse.
Mm-hmm.
So a family curse is essentially generational trauma. Or you were cursed generations ago by a witch because you stole her goat.
I mean, por qué no los dos?
Right. Right. So as you said, I'm going to talk about the Kennedy family. They are as close to political royalty as exists in the United States. The name is associated with presidents, senators, ambassadors, fashion icons, and tragedies.
Yeah.
So
and
going
now
back a little
RFK
bit-
is here to shit all over the legacy.
Oh my God, he himself is one of the tragedies.
Which, to be clear, is not a perfect legacy. They are a family of white people that did white people things in the United States. But, like,
No,
RFK
we'll
is
get to
the
all of
worst.
I don't know.
There's worse ones.
There's a long line of, well, I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Joseph P. Kennedy, this is the father of JFK, if we're going to use JFK to like sort of center who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph P. Kennedy was born in Boston in 1888. He was a Virgo. His father was a politician, also, I believe, in Boston, and his grandfather had emigrated to the U.S. from Ireland. So he's a second generation native-born American. After graduating from Harvard in 1912, Joe married Rose Fitzgerald, a Cancer. Rose was the daughter of John F. Fitzgerald, also known as Honey Fitz. So he was the mayor of Boston. So Rose's dad was the fucking mayor of Boston. She had gone to private schools in the Netherlands. She was very close with her father, and she went with him on like the political circuits. So she herself had a lot of connections, both political and social. So Joe marries her. Joe is a very ambitious man. And I think that if there is a Kennedy curse, some of it could be chalked up to like old Joe's shenanigans in the 1910s and 20s. So this is from Encyclopedia Britannica. Kennedy was a freckled, vigorous man whose horn-rimmed spectacles gave him a slightly owlish look. He was a bank president at age 25 and a millionaire at 30. He became
and
a
millionaire in
shipbuilder.
that time was a fuck ton of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
He became a shipbuilder, a motion picture tycoon, and a heavy contributor to the Democratic Party. Many have accused him of having traded in bootleg liquor during Prohibition.
Who didn't?
Victimless crime, but also like taking advantage of political situations for your own
personal
benefit he would later be a politician. In 5 years, so between 1919 and 1924, as manager of the stock division of Hayden Stone and Company, which was an investment banking firm, he mastered the art of stock exchange manipulation.
Okay.
So it was shady trading practices.
Yep.
Striking out on his own.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Striking out on his own, he became a brilliant plunger in the bull market of the 1920s. He retired early in 1929, having acquired enough capital to establish a $1 million trust fund for each of his children. So that set all of them up to be pretty successful as well.
Yeah. Nepo babies to the max.
Yeah. Then, as chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission between 1934 and 1935 under Franklin D. Roosevelt, Kennedy outlawed the very speculative practices that had made him rich in the first place. So
I
he
got
gets
my
his
bag. Now y'all can't do this anymore.
Now, and then he's the chairman of the SEC, and he's like, nope,
No, that's illegal now.
Pulling that rope back up behind me. He became chairman of the United States Maritime Commission, and in 1937, the first Irish American to serve as the U.S. ambassador to Great Britain. And then he fully retired in 1940. By then, his wife Rose had popped out 9 fucking kids.
Yeah, they had a lot of kids.
And more, because there was a stillbirth and a couple miscarriages too. In order, we have Joseph P. Jr. So, of course, the oldest
JPJ.
was a boy, and he's a junior. Then we have John F., the president, Rosemary, Kathleen, Eunice, Patricia, Robert F., Bobby, Jean, and Edward, Ted. So I did the math. Rose was pregnant or actively raising babies for 17 years.
No.
Their family was very active. They sailed, they played football, tennis. They were very competitive. They were very like waspy, but the Catholic version. Wasky.
Sure.
But the parents' primary goal for their kids was to prepare them for public life. Like they were going to be politicians, or they were going to marry politicians or other influential people.
Prominent. Yeah.
The sons were basically expected to become politicians, as I said, and the daughters were ready for marriage to distinguished men who would become, quote unquote, naturalized Kennedys. These kids were not going to blend into a different family. they were going to recruit people who would make good Kennedys.
It's what like the Huntsbergers and the Gilmores on Gilmore Girls want to achieve.
You've
And
lost
some
me,
people
but I trust
listening
you.
will get that. Yes.
Okay, I'm okay.
Like when the Huntsbergers didn't think Rory was good enough for Logan because she's just a Gilmore. And Logan is meant for big things.
It's like the Capulets and the Montagues.
Yes. Tale as old as time. Okay. It's like when the Little Mermaid really wants legs.
Yes.
And so she
Do
gets
you give up the voice?
I don't ask much. Just your
Voice
voice.
for legs? Yeah. But she doesn't
I'd do
talk
it.
much.
I'd do it to get railed by Prince Eric. Hell yeah.
I mean,
I don't blame her.
they were great legs, too.
One flip of her fin.
She had a beautiful voice.
Go get your man. Who cares what it costs?
And
He's worth it
Don't
for sure.
underestimate the importance of body language.
Yeah, we got to get June into Little Mermaid. She needs to become obsessed with Ursula like I was when I was a little kid.
We've watched it before. Currently, she's on Lion King, original Lion King, and I love it.
Okay. All right.
We're
heading in the right direction.
I can't do any more Monsters, Inc. I will throw myself into the highway. I
get it.
do it.
I get it.
Okay, so the Kennedy children were encouraged to read the New York Times from an early age. And also the family did not allow small talk at the table. They had to discuss national and global real adult issues.
Okay.
It was
Yikes.
not like, oh, Timmy and I played baseball today. It was like, no, how do you feel about NATO?
Yeah.
Did NATO
I'm
exist at this
5.
time? I don't think so. NATO was post-World War II. You know what I mean?
Listen, we are following.
The kids did develop very strong opinions and arguments about adult issues. For example, with Joseph Jr. becoming an isolationist, meaning that he thought that the U.S. should not be intervening in global issues, which is ironic, as we will get to. And John F. as an ardent advocate of U.S. participation in world affairs. So it shaped their politics as adults. Okay, let's get to the tragedies.
Please.
Okay, all right. So Rosemary, and as we said, I went much farther into depth with Rosemary's thing in the lobotomy crimes episode. So if you want more details, devastating details, you should go check that out. Rosemary was
that episode made me fucking cry.
It was a really rough one, yeah. Rosemary was the eldest daughter and the third child, born in 1918 at the family's home. So this was during the Spanish influenza epidemic, and the doctors were like slammed.
She's only a year older than Helen.
Oh, God. So the doctor, Dr. Good, ironically named, he was running super late because he had other patients. So the nurse ordered Rose to keep her legs shut even though the baby was in the birth canal.
Oh, God. So she didn't get enough oxygen. That's right.
The nurse even pushed Rosemary's head back up inside of her mother for 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
So, yes, it was a harmful lack of oxygen to the baby. As Rosemary began to grow, her parents noticed that she was not reaching the basic developmental milestones. So, for example, by 2 years old, she was having a hard time sitting up, crawling, and learning to walk. By 11, she was having trouble reading and writing. Her family always just called these her delays. They hid her
from the public eye.
Not even from the public eye, from some members of their families, like aunts and cousins and stuff. They had no idea that there was anything wrong with Rosemary because they hid it so well.
Wow.
So her family sent her to schools for the quote-unquote intellectually disabled and ensured that she had extra time and extra attention spent on her. But like I said, really just tried to keep her out of any kind of public spotlight and keep her condition hidden. There's a bunch about her older brother. I think Joe Jr. was like very kind to her and took her to that tea dance and made her feel normal. And that was like, she was in the public eye and that didn't seem like there was anything wrong with her. So there's also a lot of questions about if we're only trusting some of the Kennedys for exactly what was going on with Rosemary, then we're never going to really know. As she reached her early 20s, Rosemary began to experience violent mood swings and things like convulsions. That was making her mental illness very, very apparent. So in 1941, Joe Sr. decided to subject Rosemary to an experimental new procedure, the lobotomy. Also choosing not to inform his family, her mother, until after it was finished. He acted completely unilaterally.
That's horrifying.
The doctors went in through the top of her head. It wasn't one of the transorbital ones. They made an incision and they put basically a flat spatula, just mixed it up.
Split, yeah.
Yeah. And they botched it so badly that afterwards, Rosemary's mental capacity was that of a 2-year-old.
Ugh.
She couldn't walk. She couldn't speak intelligibly. She was incontinent. And that was okay with Joe Sr. because even though at least one of her doctors maintained that she suffered from depression or another mental illness that could be fixed with medication and therapy or various therapies, Joe saw it as now his daughter is in a state of mental disability, not mental illness. So that would be more sympathetic to the public. And it would go farther to protect his family's political reputation.
Yeah, and meanwhile, through it all, poor Rosemary isn't even treated like a human being, seen as a human being. The ableism is so foul, and it destroyed whatever life she had the possibility of having.
They had enough money to set her up for whatever.
I know. All the cutting edge therapies or whatever, but I guess
that was too risky.
Yeah.
He would rather have her incapacitated.
That's so fucking tragic.
So this clearly demonstrates a lack of support for mental health, mental illness, and the prioritizing of reputation and just optics within this family. It's fucking gross. So Rosemary was pretty much immediately institutionalized, eventually moving to Jefferson, Wisconsin, where she lived for the rest of her life on the grounds of the St. Coletta School for Exceptional Children, formerly known as St. Coletta Institute for Backward Youth.
Wow.
She had her own cottage on the grounds. She had a sort of a private space, which she did ceramics, and she had a schedule. She had a car that she couldn't drive it, but she could go for rides in it. She had a dog. She probably had a fairly decent life because money could afford her that kind of comfort at that point.
Right. Considering everything that was done to her to harm her, at least she got to go somewhere quiet and peaceful and just live. But it's devastating.
Her siblings didn't know where she was until 1961. That was 20 years after her lobotomy.
Yeah. They had no idea.
Joe Sr. had a stroke that left him unable to speak or walk, which I guess at that point he said, you should probably know where your sister is. And the lobotomy itself didn't become public knowledge until 1987 when historian Doris Kearns Goodwin revealed it in her book, The Fitzgeralds and the Kennedys.
Wow.
So now now everyone knows, but Rosemary passed away just in 2005 at the age of 86. With Jean, Eunice, Patricia, and Ted by her side.
Wow.
Okay, next tragedy. Joseph P. Jr., so he's the eldest. He's the oldest son, brother. The oldest son. He, as I said, was born to politics, privilege, and high expectations. So it was his grandpa, the mayor of Boston, Honey Fitz, who told the newspapers that his grandson would be the first Roman Catholic president of the United States.
Well, he was right. It just
wasn't.
Wasn't JFK the first Roman Catholic president of the United States?
We're not talking about JFK. This is Joseph P. Jr., the oldest.
I know, but that's what I was just saying, is he was right. It was just not the grandson he predicted.
Oh, yeah.
That's still
they were
JFK
very proud of their Catholicism.
Grandson. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying Joseph P. is going to be him.
I know. You just cut me off before I could say the end of my sentence.
Okay. So at the end of the day, no pressure at all. No pressure, Joe Jr.
Yeah, for real.
So he was a natural leader. He graduated from Harvard in 1938 and served as a delegate to the DNC in 1940. So he is well on his way to being the first Roman Catholic president.
He's definitely hobnobbing in all the right circles to get on the ballot.
Despite his dad's wish that none of his kids go into the military, Joe Jr. saw it as a way to pump up his political resume. So he enlisted and became a pilot during World War II. Hell of a time to do that. Flying missions in Europe and earning the respect of his squadron. He was like very highly praised for his bravery and his, army ship. On August 12th, 1944, while piloting a B-17 bomber on one such mission, the explosives he was supposed to drop exploded prematurely, killing him and his co-pilot. He was only 29.
That's hard.
Yeah. Okay, next tragedy. Kathleen was the second oldest daughter. She was the fourth child. She was born in 1920, a Pisces. Her nickname was Kick because of her, quote, irrepressible nature.
Okay.
So she was a Spitfire.
She was a real kick.
She was a real kick. She was especially close to her older brother, John F., a.k.a. Jack. All of his siblings called him Jack.
That was so common back then. My grandpa was a John, but he was raised alongside his cousin, who was also a John, as far as I remember. And they were very close in age. And Jack was like a super common nickname for Jonathan. So he went by, the cousin, I guess, went by Jack.
I think that's the typical nickname for Jonathan, if it's not like Johnny.
Which is so weird because it's like John is right there. Why do we got to change a bunch of letters?
I don't know.
Where are the C and the K coming in? Who sent them?
I don't know.
What's
We
going
should look
on?
it up. We should look it up.
Great. Some
okay.
other time.
Not now. We're busy.
Never now.
We're learning about the familial tragedies. Okay, so she, to all of JFK's like close friends, she was like the flirty, like cute little sister. She'd like play football with the boys. She was way too good for them. Also, she was like their best friend's little sister. But she was just like the fun one. She went to school in France for a while, and she also lived in Britain while her dad was the ambassador to the UK. While she was over there, she dated a Rockefeller, and she was declared to be the debutante of 1938 by the English media when she made her debut at the Queen Charlotte's Ball.
Okay.
The event of the year. In September 1939, the Germans invade Poland and World War II kicks off, so her family moves back to the United States. And she's like, well, no, all my friends are here. I'm staying here. And her dad was like, absolutely not. Get your ass on the boat. We're going back. So they did go back to the U.S., but she went to college for a little while. She volunteered for the Red Cross. She eventually had her own review column in the Washington Times-Herald. So she was like making it work, but she really, really, really wanted to just go back to England because she also had met a boy there and she wanted to see what he's up to now. So in 1943, so 4 years later, seeking a way to return to England, Kathleen signed up through the Red Cross to go assist servicemen somehow. During this time, she began a romantic relationship with politician William Cavendish, Marquess of Hartington.
Rolls right off the tongue.
One of those really obscure, like, okay, your great aunt's former boyfriend, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A far-fetched, but they still have like crazy titles over there. So, Billy. Her parents did not approve of this marriage because it was outside of their Catholic faith. It meant that their children would be raised in the Church of England and not the Roman Catholic Church. And her mom was very, very fucking Catholic. So her parents said no, but they got married anyway on May 6, 1944. Her older brother, Joseph Jr., was the only one there from her family, and he was kind of only there because he was stationed in Britain. he would die 3 months after the wedding. So 4 months after their marriage and less than a month after Joe Jr. was killed, Billy Hardington was killed by a sniper during a battle with the Germans in Belgium.
Mhm.
So he died, and then a little while after that, she fell in love with the 8th Earl Fitzwilliam, another weird title bro. Her mom didn't like that either for the same reason, so Kathleen was like, fine, I'll just convince Daddy instead. So on May 13th, 1948, Lady Hardington, which was her widow name still, and Lord Fitzwilliam, I think they had just gone to visit her dad in Paris to try to like make him approve of the relationship.
Mhm.
But they were flying from Paris to the French Riviera for vacation. Must be nice. When they flew into a storm and ended up crashing near the Alps and killed all 4 people aboard.
Oh,
So she was buried in Derbyshire, England. Her father was the only family member to attend the funeral. Rose, the mom, refused to attend because, well, she refused because she was fucking pissed about the relationship in the first place.
Mhm.
But instead of admitting that or doing it anyway, she entered a hospital for quote unquote medical reasons. She probably had a mental breakdown.
Okay.
And her brother, Jack, JFK, was too devastated because they were so tight.
Yeah.
He was too upset to bring himself to go to the funeral. So it was just her dad. And it was just her brother, who's now dead, who was the only person at her wedding, too.
Right. Oh, that's really sad.
Not great.
No.
On August 23rd, 1956, JFK's daughter, Arabella Kennedy, died at birth. On August 7th, 1963, Jacqueline Kennedy gave birth to a premature baby boy who was quickly baptized and named Patrick. He lived for 39 hours, succumbing to complications of hyaline membrane disease despite desperate attempts to save him. The couple had already suffered 1 miscarriage and a stillbirth, who would have been Arabella. Patrick's death raised the profile in infantile respiratory diseases and syndromes into the public consciousness and encouraged more important research on the topic. So, baby Patrick still made a difference. On November 22nd, 1963, which was just a few months later, JFK is assassinated in Dallas.
Oh, God. Can you imagine being his I can't. Being like Jacqueline Kennedy and having this tragic birth, and then you barely come up for air and JFK's popped.
And you already have 2 kids that you're raising. I think she had 2 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's November 1963. June 19th, 1964, Ted Kennedy survives a plane crash that killed one of his aides and the pilot. They were on the way to the DNC.
Dude, the Kennedys and planes.
They're going down everywhere.
I know, because, I mean, we were kids when the one you're going to get to eventually happened, and I remember how devastated my aunt was because she loved the Kennedys. Oh, you'd think it was her friend that went down.
That was personal to a lot of middle-aged women.
Auntie Dawn was inconsolable.
Oh, no.
I remember
remember the Seinfeld episode when he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
John F. Kennedy Jr. That's a great episode.
Yep.
Anyway, okay. Ted survives a fucking plane crash on the way to the DNC. Following the crash, Robert F. Kennedy remarked to aide Ed Guthman, quote, "Somebody up there doesn't like us."
I remember, like, reading about that. Obviously that was in 1964, but, like, I've read about that quote before.
Yeah.
When they were starting to be like, are we cursed?
Yeah. They say it again. There's a couple times when they're like, you guys wait.
Yeah, I feel like OG RFK was the first one to finally publicly be like, something's off. And then he opened the floodgates. It was Ted. Oh, okay. No, it says
I'll get to it.
RFK remarked to aide Ed Guthman, somebody up there doesn't like us.
But the first time a curse is mentioned is Ted. We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next tragedy. Another prominent member of the Democratic Party, Robert F. Kennedy, RFK, the dad,
OG, yeah.
served as U.S. Attorney General between 1961 and 1964 and was subsequently a senator for New York. By 1968, he was a leading candidate for the Democratic presidential nominee, following in the footsteps of his brother, John J.F. Shortly after winning the California primary on June 5th, 1968, this is like shortly after midnight, RFK was walking through the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel in LA when he was shot by Sirhan, a young Palestinian who claimed to have acted in retaliation for RFK's pro-Israeli stance during the 1967 Six-Day War.
Damn.
He died the next day at age 42.
Mm-hmm.
Sirhan recently-ish, I think he got paroled.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the Kennedy family was like, yeah, because he was in prison for like 53 years or something. Anyway, I don't really know if he's out yet, but okay, next tragedy. Late one evening in July 1969, Senator Ted Kennedy left a party on Chappaquiddick Island to drop another party guest, Mary Jo Kopechny, back at the ferry landing.
Mm-hmm.
The car skidded off the bridge into the water. Kennedy escaped the car, swimming free and leaving the scene. You sure have. He only reported the crash to police at 10 a.m. the next morning, by which point Kopechny's body had already been recovered from the sunken car.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the tip. Kennedy was found guilty of leaving the scene of an accident, received a 2-month suspended jail sentence, and had his driver's license suspended for 16 months.
I'm pretty sure it was his buddies. Like, he crashed. He went like back to the lodge, told some people. They went to check on her, not him.
Yeah.
And pulled her out. And then he clearly killed her, whether it was by accident or because he was driving drunk or it was on purpose. It was manslaughter at best, murder at worst, and he didn't have shit for consequences for it. It's crazy.
Yep. Well, the Chappaquiddick incident, as it became known, severely undermined Ted's hope of ever becoming president, fortunately. And when he eventually did run in the 1980 Democratic presidential primaries, he lost to incumbent Jimmy Carter.
A peanut farmer was in the White House. Jimmy Carter. And I sold these culottes.
A peanut farmer.
A peanut farmer was in the White House.
I forgot about that.
It's like one of my favorite lines. It's so fucking stupid.
I know. And I sold these culottes.
These culottes. And what you know, they still fit. She had a big ass then. She's got a big ass now.
Big ass now. I'm due for a rewatch. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ted was the first to publicly surmise that the family had a curse. A week after the car crash, he addressed his actions and wondered aloud, quote, whether some awful curse did actually hang over all the Kennedys. What bad luck I'm having for killing a woman.
Yeah, this is awful what outside forces are doing to me.
This is not the only car accident that severely injures a female passenger, by the way. We'll get to it.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Well, maybe it's a tragedy. Maybe it's karma. In 1973, Ted got bone cancer and had to have his leg amputated.
Oh, no. As the child of an amputee, I can say, boo, that sucks. Bye.
I knew you'd like that one, especially.
I can say that with confidence. Wow, I don't care. Fuck you. Bummer.
Cool. Hope it wasn't your driving foot.
My dad drove fine with a prosthetic driving foot. It was my dad's driving foot.
Okay.
And he still smoked me at
Parallel parking.
Not parallel parking necessarily, but like we had this driver's ed like field day with all these different stations.
Were
to
you
do all these
talking about
different
this
things.
recently? He just
I feel like
kicked
I
your
was.
ass.
Yes, he smoked me at every single freaking station. Reaction time on the brakes and gas.
Reaction time.
Crushed me. Crushed me.
Oh my God.
With the bum leg.
Ugh. Okay. Well, without the bum leg, really. He had that taken off.
Well, yeah, then I think he had a distinct advantage. There was something hidden in his prosthetic that increased his chances. And I don't think
it's
he
like
should
one of-
play in men's sports
It's
because he's genetically enhanced.
he has an unnatural advantage.
Yes.
He's got one of those body suits that's totally robotic and it moves for you.
he was Iron Man.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, here we go. August 13th,
My father was not Iron Man.
1973.
Yes.
For clarity, just to clear things up.
He was
Okay.
definitely not Iron Man.
1973, Joseph P. Kennedy II. So I don't actually know whose child that was because it wasn't Joseph P. Jr. because he didn't have kids. Whatever. He was the driver of a Jeep in Nantucket, Massachusetts, that crashed and left his passenger, Pam Kelly, paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Fellow passenger and brother David A. Kennedy were injured. We'll get back to David because he is also a tragedy.
Oh, no.
January 23rd, 1974. Athalia Ponsell Lindsley, who dated Joseph P. Kennedy Jr., the one who died in combat until his death, was murdered in her home.
Yikes.
I didn't have time to go dig for any further information, but yeah, there was a murder.
Jesus.
Next, the fourth son of Robert F. Kennedy and his wife Ethel Skakel, David. Okay, so this is I think the same David who was in this car crash.
Okay.
So as a boy, David nearly drowned, but his father, RFK, saved his life. The next day, David watched his father's assassination live on television.
Oh.
Yeah. David Kennedy turned to recreational drug use to cope with the trauma he had experienced, as one does.
Would, yeah. Well, especially growing up in this like legacy family that notoriously pushes things so deeply under the rug, they lobotomized one of their children.
Yeah.
To hide her quote unquote mental illness.
Yep. So he was using recreational drugs, and then that car accident I just fucking mentioned left him addicted to opioids because he got really hurt.
Injured. Yeah. Oh, God. Poor guy.
Despite numerous trips to rehab following minor overdoses, David never kicked his addiction. And he was found dead in his apartment, I think, in Florida in April 1984, having overdosed on a combination of cocaine and prescription medication.
Fuck.
December 31st, 1997, Michael Lemoyne Kennedy, son of Robert F. Kennedy, died in a skiing accident after crashing into a tree in Aspen, Colorado.
Crazy.
I knew there was a ski thing. All right. In 1999, John Kennedy Jr., who was born 2 weeks after his father, JFK, was elected president, so it was just before his third birthday. He's the one the little boy.
Yeah.
He's that famous photo.
That famous photo with Jackie O.
That's JFK Jr. In 1999, while working as a successful legal professional in New York, John Jr. flew from New Jersey to Massachusetts via Martha's Vineyard to attend a family wedding with his wife, Carolyn, and sister-in-law. So he was piloting the airplane. It was reported missing shortly after it failed to arrive on schedule and stopped responding to communications. And I can see this like it happened fucking yesterday, much like your aunt
the
can.
helicopter footage.
Wreckage
over
and
the
debris.
wreckage.
was later found in the Atlantic Ocean, and their bodies were discovered several days later on the seabed. It's thought Kennedy became disoriented during descent over water at night, resulting in the crash.
When I tell you that, like, this was a Titan submersible moment in the way that everybody was watching the search.
Yeah.
For these two at that time, like it was nuts, the media frenzy of it.
I think I watched, I know it wasn't the same. I know Diana didn't die in 99, but I was watching the same thing on the same TV at my parents' house.
Yes, it was very much a similar experience.
It was a glued to the television. You can stay up late if you're quiet.
Yeah, and we obviously don't have a royal family in the United States, but like the Kennedys were treated similarly to like the monarchy, the British monarchy.
And JFK Jr. was like, he
hot.
was like the playboy. He was super hot.
Everybody loved the paper, the tabloids loved him, the papers loved him, women loved him. And Carolyn
loved him.
Carolyn was fucking gorgeous, like this beautiful, beautiful blonde. And their photo, there's like a photo of them at a cocktail party where she's in this like beautiful kind of strappy blue dress that I can like picture so clearly in my mind, because that was like the photo that they ran of the two of them at like a function together, looking the best they've ever fucking. I mean, just gorgeous. But it's like that picture was plastered everywhere. It's on the front of every fucking magazine with like the little cutout of like the pictures of the wreckage of the plane. It was everywhere. It's like burned in my childhood memory.
Yeah. They were like the
Crazy
socialite, the it couple. Okay. So I have a few more.
Good Lord.
These are a little bit more scattered because obviously there are an awful lot of Kennedys. So statistically, maybe, these are people with a lot of generational wealth. They are participating in higher risk activities, both because of that and also just this is just sort of, they're all kind of competitive natured. And just having so many people in a family, like shit is going to happen, but it's just wild. So I'm just going to rattle off these last few. May 16th, 2012, Mary Richardson Kennedy, wife of RFK Jr., dies by suicide at her home in Bedford, New York. August 1st, 2019, Saoirse Kennedy Hill, granddaughter of RFK, died of an accidental drug overdose at the Kennedy compound in Hyannisport in Massachusetts. Which is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
April 2nd, 2020, Maeve Kennedy McKean, granddaughter of RFK, disappeared with her 8-year-old son Gideon during a short canoe trip in the Chesapeake Bay. Their bodies were recovered from the bay later that week. Autopsies revealed that both had accidentally drowned in the turbulent and chilly waters.
8 years old.
That's so sad.
That's really sad.
And then December 30th, 2025, Tatiana Schlossberg, granddaughter of RFK, died at 35 years old following complications with acute myeloid leukemia. In publicly announcing her diagnosis in the New Yorker just a month earlier in November, Schlossberg wrote that, quote, "I have added a new tragedy to my mother's life, to our family's life, and there's nothing I can do to stop it."
Oh, that gave me chills.
I know.
Oh. That's fucking sad.
I know. It's all sad. It's just like punch after punch, really.
Damn. Well.
So there is more, but like, at what point is it kind of becoming a reach when you're calling it a family curse,
Right.
So that was enough, I think.
I think that was plenty.
Great. Cool.
Mine's not nearly that deadly. It's more about just like shitty relationships, which makes it a little more fun. So
yeah,
let's take another quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then I'll traumatize y'all less.
Love it.
So for my case, we're going to the glittering, sun-drenched cliffs of Monaco, which I think at the top I said Monarca because obviously I have ice on the brain and monarchy, Monaco, Monarca. I got confused.
You did say Monarca. I thought you meant Mallorca?
Mallorca, no.
But it's
Monaco.
really Monaco. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
we got
glad
there.
we've-
It's fine.
It's called the Weave.
Yes. So Monaco is a small, kingdom.
Haven for
Yes.
tax haven.
It has become such, and there's like a pretty specific point in this royal family because it's been ruled by the same family of monarchs
Oh, shit.
since like the 1200s.
Whoa, cool.
I guess that's cool. I mean, it's just like
It's
so crazy.
interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So it has become a place of unimaginable wealth, Hollywood glamour, and like I said, a royal family that has ruled for over 8 centuries.
Is it a country?
I mean,
Monaco?
I think so. I mean, it certainly was.
It's really small, I think.
It's tiny. It's a principality. It's a sovereign city-state.
Oh, like the Vatican.
Like Vatican City. So it's,
Okay.
I think over time it has, I think at one point it was like like a small landmass, like a country.
Well, yeah, they've ruled it for so long before
Yeah.
countries were
Yeah,
even
now
a thing.
it's just like Vatican City, but for rich people, which,
Got
you know
it.
what? Respect. Fine. Whatever. They don't have any like power to do a whole lot, I guess, except
Yeah.
to harbor people's tax money, but like, whatever. It's a fascinating place that exists. How on earth? I don't know. But behind the Mediterranean facade of the House of Grimaldi, so that's the family that's been ruling over this sovereign city-state, lies a dark legend that has persisted for 700 years.
Oh,
It's a story of
Lord.
unhappy marriages, sudden deaths on occasion, and a witch's curse
There
some
we
say-
go.
that some say continues to haunt Europe's longest ruling dynasty. So we got to travel back to the 14th century, and while the Grimaldi family was founded in 1160 by a Genesee statesman named Grimaldo, the dark cloud began with one of Grimaldo's descendants, Prince Rainier I,
Okay.
who I think came to power in the 1200s. There are 2 primary versions of the legend of Prince Rainier I. The most famous story claims that after Rainier I won the Battle of Zyritsky, he kidnapped and raped a Flemish woman after, dominating her land or whatever.
Yeah.
In her quest for revenge against him, she is said to have proclaimed, quote, "Never will a Grimaldi find happiness in marriage." So she said this
Oh.
out loud, allegedly. Now, she either said it out loud after he brutalized her or said it out loud. This is the alternative, darker version of the story, is that it was uttered by her after Rainier I ordered her to be burned at the stake as a witch. So basically the theory, like the working theory is he kidnapped and raped this woman. When she kind of like mouthed off about it or put up a fight about it, he claimed witchcraft, had her burned at the stake, and she said before burning, "Never will a Grimaldi find happiness in marriage," and cursed the family.
Good. Good for her.
So I love that. So whichever version of it you believe that, that happened, whether it was just her pissed and not murdered or her sending off a dying hex, the sentiment remained the same, that the family would be forever unlucky in love. And while these stories sound like fairy tales, the historical record of the Grimaldi family, kind of like what you mentioned with the Kennedys, it's like they wrote shit down. They're a political dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
These records are shockingly consistent throughout about 700 years with this, quote, wronged woman's curse situation.
Oh my God. Imagine
So-
trying to date.
Girl, we'll get to the dating. So even if it is a lie, the family has just stuck to it, been like, yup, fucking Rainier the First fucked over that lady, and now all of us are screwed. That's been the family story for a long fucking time.
It seems a little bit defeatist to me.
I know, but let him have it. It's hilarious. Long before the modern era, the Grimaldis struggled with domestic stability. Prince Louis I, for instance, married Catherine Charlotte de Gramont, who eventually left him to become the mistress of King Louis XIV of France. She was like, this is going nowhere for me. I'm going to hitch my wagon to King Louis XIV's star because shit's like going on over there.
Yeah.
Moving into the 19th and early 20th centuries, the pattern continued. Prince Albert, yikes, the first, marriage to Lady Mary Victoria Hamilton lasted barely a year before she fled Monaco permanently. These men are just like so foul that these women are like, I tried. I have to go.
You know what? Not worth it.
Not worth it. His successor, Prince Louis II, never married the mother of his only child, who was a French cabaret singer named Marie-Juliette Louvet, and she was considered too low on the social hierarchy to marry into royalty. So they had they had this child out of wedlock, and he couldn't marry her, but their child would become Princess Charlotte. She would enter the ruling family lineage and sadly go on to have a notoriously unhappy arranged marriage to Count Pierre de Polignac.
Ick.
They separated in 1930 after 10 years of marriage amid reports of Pierre's homosexuality.
Oh,
and
sometimes they make a great husband.
And Charlotte was having her own extramarital affairs. So it's like they're kind of in a loveless lavender marriage, which there's nothing worse. Like a lavender marriage with so much love is incredible. What a dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, a loveless marriage anyway.
But a loveless marriage, period. And you can't even have fun with your gay husband.
Hates you? Yeah, that would suck.
That would suck. So obviously she was like getting hers on the side. And then of course she's going to be the one that gets roasted for that. And so they split up. But they made it 10 years. But it wasn't a cute split. And all of these splits over time, like, they're so fucking annoying because most of these marriages were dual marriages. So they'd have to get married both like in the state to like solidify the monarchy, but then they also had to have separate ceremonies in the Catholic Church to be like anointed by the church. And then when they
more of the Catholics fucking this up.
Dude, I know. And then when they would split up, they would have to get like permissions from higher ups in the Catholic Church to grant them Catholic divorce. So they could maybe get legal divorce, but they're still married in the eyes of the church and would have to get granted divorce. Honestly, watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sutton's going through it right now. She just had her marriage annulled, or her ex-husband had her marriage annulled in the eyes of the church. Ugh. And to people who give a shit about that, and upsetting. It's very upsetting, but also what people I think forget from the context of these times, not even necessarily 1930, but they'd already been in power for hundreds of years at that point. The church and the state were the same level of power, if not more on the end of the church in a lot of ways. Like they were very directly connected. And so it was a pain in the ass, these marriages that then were fucking splitting up left and right. It was crazy. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. But the legend of the curse gained its most significant traction in the 20th century, particularly following the arrival of American actress Grace Kelly into the lineage.
Oh my.
Kelly headed the U.S. delegation at the Cannes Film Festival in April of 1955. While she was there, she was invited to participate in a photo session with Prince Rainier III, the sovereign of the Principality of Monaco, at the Prince's Palace of Monaco. So he was like, I saw Grace Kelly at Cannes Film Festival. I'm inviting her to the palace. She must be mine.
Yes.
He fell madly in love with her, allegedly.
He instructed his staff to pull out all the stops.
Yep. After a series of delays and complications, she finally met him at the palace on May 6th of 1955. And after a year-long courtship described as containing, quote, a good deal of rational appraisal on both sides.
Whatever that
Talk
means.
about heated rivalry. This is so hot and romantic. They married on April 19th, 1956. So they courted transcontinentally for a year, which really meant they were like chatting back and forth, visiting on occasion and going, how can we both get our bag for getting into this marriage? Like what's in it for you and what's in it for me? And then they got married.
It was an administrative arrangement.
Yes, but people went nuts for it. She was like the OG Lady Di. Her wedding to Prince Rainier III was viewed as a global fairy tale. Newspapers were talking about it. It was huge. Everyone wanted to know what she would. I mean, Grace Kelly. It's Grace fucking Kelly. She was an icon.
Mm-hmm.
And like she and Lady Diana did become friends like later on in her life.
Oh,
and
I love that.
Kind of followed in her footsteps, but it was a fairy tale with a tragic ending, however. First of all, right after the marriage, she and the prince embarked on a month-long yacht cruise around the Mediterranean, and they found out allegedly that they had very little in common.
Oh, no.
And like didn't
nothing like a month-long boat trip to figure that out.
Yeah. And I guess she was like, well, I'll tough this out. And he was like, I'm going to start cheating on you immediately. So they get back to dry land and he just like starts having extramarital affairs.
Oh, no.
Despite his infidelity, they remained married and she bore him 3 children who she devoted her life to and loved dearly. She had given up acting to marry the prince, despite giving up acting to marry him, she was still offered roles by like prominent directors, including Alfred Hitchcock, who like really wanted her for this specific movie he was making. I don't remember what it was. But the prince found that work unbecoming of the Princess of Monaco, so she had to decline.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Like, you're a princess and a mother now. This is silly. She did do one last bit of acting in the 70s. She narrated a documentary called The Children of Theater Street that came out in 1977. And that film was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. So she had her name on and her work in something really powerful and influential for the time, at least before.
She got an award.
At least before she died tragically. So on September 13th, 1982, Princess Grace suffered a stroke while driving with one of her children, her youngest daughter, Stephanie. And Stephanie was a teenager at the time. It was in the front seat. And Grace was driving, and all the reports I read said that like she had a driver, but she specifically insisted that she wanted to drive that day. And the roads like up to their castle, essentially, in Monaco are very windy. And allegedly she and Stephanie were arguing, and then suddenly the car, this was like Stephanie's account of it, it's like we were fighting and then the car veered off a mountainside and we were like just rolling down the mountainside. And Stephanie was okay. Like she had pretty minor injuries. Grace was taken to the hospital and she did die the next day at the age of 52.
Oh.
Yeah, just
I would
really
feel so guilty.
Really horrifying. I mean, of course, you're a teenage girl. Of course, you're fighting with your mom, and you're not the reason that she had a stroke. And then the car ran off the road. So you've experienced this awful trauma with these terrible circumstances. Stephanie is incredible. We will go deeper into her in a second here because I find her fascinating. But yeah, that's some fucking trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Rainier III, her widow, was reportedly heartbroken and never remarried, living as a widower until his death in 2005. I mean, why would he bother remarrying? Like, he had been cheating on her anyway.
You're not going to level up from Grace Kelly either.
No, it's like, okay.
Your job now is to give your kids stability and shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. That's what you hope.
Sorry.
So it was this sudden high-profile tragedy that caused many to wonder if the ancient curse was indeed real. If the curse targets marital happiness, the children of Rainier and Grace have certainly faced their fair share of trials.
Yeah.
So this last part is about their 3 kids. So Princess Caroline, she's been married 3 times. Her first marriage ended in divorce. Her second ended in tragedy when her husband, a man named Stefano Casaraghi, was killed in a powerboat racing accident at the age of 30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's definitely giving fucking practical magic ass shit.
Yeah.
And she did marry again after becoming a widow, but she is apparently separated from her third husband currently.
Okay.
Grace Kelly's only son, Prince Albert II, who is the current reigning prince, and there is a photo of him with his, like, I'm sorry, but the haircuts on his wife and children are shocking.
Am I looking at the family tree?
No, you're looking at a white man with 3 Aryan-looking blonde children, all with like the same variation of a bowl cut.
Well, one of them's his wife, right?
Yes.
Oh, you said 3 children.
Well, whatever. The one in the middle is his wife. The other 2 are his kids.
That's not great.
They're terrifying. Whatever.
I don't like that.
But he's like currently the reigning prince. He allegedly spent years as a Playboy bachelor and was the subject of multiple paternity suits involving illegitimate children. And this woman in the photo,
if you're dealing with multiple paternity suits,
girl,
I don't know what to say.
Figure it out.
Gotta get your shit together.
But his current wife and children, that's not his first wife. I think that's his second wife. So he had another wife in 2011, and she was South African Olympic swimmer Charlene Whitstock. And there were mega rumors of an unhappy relationship with them. And that peaked when Princess Charlene spent an extended period in South Africa due to medical procedures and missed their 10th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
No, wait, so she is his current wife. Sorry, she is his current wife. I got her mixed up with somebody else. But yeah, it's like, yeah, they look really happy, but she apparently like bailed on their 10th wedding anniversary to like have a nip and a tuck instead of spending time with him, and people are already suspicious of them being unhappy and abiding by the curse. But okay, so finally, Princess Stephanie. Holy shit, what a boss. Okay.
I'm excited.
Princess Stephanie has seen a succession of tumultuous relationships, including a brief marriage to her bodyguard and another to a circus trainer.
Oh, love it.
Both of which ended in divorce. So we have to pivot and talk about her a little more than the other kids because she's my favorite. She's fascinating. She had romantic connections to a lot of famous royal and political folks in the 90s, but was also known to have dated Rob Lowe. So she ended up having 2 kids with that bodyguard that she eventually married. They had their kids before they got married.
Okay.
And then they got married after both kids were born. And then they were only married for a year and divorced. They got married in 1995 and they got divorced in 1996.
Incredible.
Then in 1998, she has another baby, but it's not on the birth certificate and she wouldn't say who the father was. But it eventually slips out that it's another guy who was head of her private security team. So she's like got a thing for her bodyguards.
I guess.
They don't get married. And because they never got married, her third child, a daughter, is excluded from the monarchy line of succession. So that was a little bit of a scandal.
Sakes. Yeah.
Then she enters her circus era. In 2001, she began a relationship with a married elephant trainer named Franco Gni.
Ooh, that's
and
hot.
she moved,
not the married part, but
right. She moved along with her 3 children into his circus caravan.
No.
And went on the road, baby.
Wow.
However, that relationship came to an end in 2002, and Stephanie and her family returned to Monaco. But by September of 2003, she married a Portuguese acrobat named Adolfo Lopez Perez, who was also a member of her ex Franco's circus ensemble.
You girl, quit shitting where you eat. You can't keep dating your ex's co-workers.
That's okay, because the marriage ended in divorce a year later in November of 2004.
Oh my God.
She managed to also accomplish in the 80s and 90s, dropping a few full-length musical albums, including an album aptly named You Don't Die From Love.
You sure don't.
And was a featured quote-unquote mystery vocalist, so I think she went unnamed for a long time, on Michael Jackson's 1992 single, In the Closet.
What the fuck? This woman's life is a Mad Lib.
I literally wrote down she is definitely someone I want to add to my dream blunt rotation because she sounds fucking fascinating. She married 2 circus performers. She's a princess. She sang on a Michael Jackson album. She put out several albums of her own. Her mother was Grace Kelly.
That was like the 6th thing on your list.
And yeah, like despite, you'd think that would be the most fascinating thing about her. No.
Yeah.
And she has upheld the family curse in such a chaotic way.
She's doing her duty.
I fucking love her. So I guess the only question now is the Grimaldi family truly cursed by a Flemish woman from the 1300s? Or is it simply the bad luck that occasionally plagues high-profile dynasties? You can believe what you want, but
I will.
But there are some who believe the curse is being broken by the newest generation as Caroline's children, Andrea, Pierre, and Charlotte Casarahi, all appear to be happily settled in their own marriages. So,
well,
at least
good.
Princess Caroline, even though her husband died in the PowerPoint accident at age 30, her kids are doing well and seem pretty happy.
PowerPoint accident?
Powerboat.
I heard PowerPoint.
No.
In the great PowerPoint accident of the 1930s.
The greatest PowerPoint accident of all time.
Wow. I bet she was watching too.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
What a
It is so sad. Those are sad.
Yeah.
But a lot of these were just like a lot of divorce. So this felt a little less intense. But yeah,
we had a lot of divorce, a lot of plane crashes.
I want to visit Monaco. I'm curious now. I'm Monaco curious now.
I took a train kind of through Monaco, but like along the cliffs with just like sweeping views of the main part of Monaco. Oh my
It's
God.
stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
I'll never be able to afford to enter that
No.
city-state.
Probably not. We need to get a
Probably not.
personal invitation. And I think I did this family some real justice today on this episode. And
Exposure.
they should be inviting me with open arms
I agree.
as their resident historian.
All right. Well, Grace Kelly's estate, you get at us.
Yeah, email us. I
Email
know
us.
you're dying to talk to us. All right, we did it. Special thanks to us.
Yep.
For diving deeper on family curses. What a ride.
And if you're cursed, feel free to email us and tell us about it.
Please tell us about your family
Only if
curses.
we can read it on the air.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for listening. Join us on Uncorked. It's a really good time, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Like what you see? Check out more episodes and become a member to unlock exclusive content.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Bye.